What is going on, guys? So we just got a package that came in the mail today. This particular package is from Get Right Clean Team. Package comes with a brochure. Open it up, 2 complimentary test strips, and it also comes with some information about who they are, their principles, the founding. What stood out to me was here at the bottom. Our mission is to create a culture that will inspire the lives of others by the way of self-care, character, confidence, and leadership. There are 3 things that I do my best to run my channel by. That is integrity, respect, and communication. Effective communication. Once those 3 things are prioritized, you find yourself with a lot of opportunities. You'll find yourself in front of people that you normally wouldn't have been able to get in front of. You find your name in rooms that your name normally wouldn't have been mentioned in, because the integrity takes you a long way. So when I read this statement, it felt like I was right at home. So without further ado, let's get into this presentation. Presentation on this seems pretty solid. Pull this up. And you are met with your box here. That's Get Right Clean Team on the front. Got a nice metallic design on that. 50 ml, 1.7 ounce. Open this up. I mean, look at that bottle. Look at that juice on that. Got Get Right Clean Team on the front. Seated in there nice and neat. Being clean is everything. This is a Eau de Parfum concentration. And just a beautiful colored juice on that. Gorgeous. Your cap here holds really well. Check the atomizer. Ooh. That's a really nice pressurized atomizer. Beautifully done. Also here on the cap, got the logo embedded here in the cap. That's pretty cool. CT right up on the top. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to try this on, and we're going to take a shot at trying to guess some of these notes. I try to do this to exercise my nose and being able to pick up on certain things. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes not so much. I think my last video that I did, was a certain fragrance that I did. I think it was one of Barrett fragrances, and I was trying to guess some of the notes, and I did not do so good with that video. But let's go ahead and try and see if we can pick up some of these. We'll refresh that. It's a really nice fine mist that hits the skin too. No blotches, there's no droplets or anything like that. Just a real fine, even mist that hits the skin. Really nice. Okay, so something in here is familiar. Now I'm catching something that reminds me of the scent that I get in here. Not the fragrance in its entirety, but there's like a note that reminds me of something in there. And I want to say it's amber. It's done in a way that I'm not super fond of, but I'm definitely willing to check this out some more and see how it unfolds on skin. There is a woody quality here. I smell like there could be a little bit of lavender here, amber, maybe a sandalwood that I'm possibly catching. There's like a extremely faint sweetness here, really, really faint. And there's a faint spice here as well. Usually when I get a couple of components like that, it sometimes could be a tonka bean, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like this one could possibly be either a tonka bean or maybe like a pink pepper. I feel like I'm catching like a boozy wood component as well, like something that's either a oud or is mimicking oud. I feel like maybe there is a hint of bergamot. Like there's something not necessarily fresh, but like that remnant of like a bergamot as it's been sitting for a little bit. Yeah, I'll say that there's possibly something fresh, like a bergamot or like a lemon possibly. I don't think orange. It's not, to me it doesn't seem round enough to be an orange. I'm actually starting to come around to the way that amber is coming off. The amber is coming off of just a little, slightly industrial, not too much. It reminds me of this amber, but this one is very unpleasant. I've always hated that amber. This one has like a vibe that I'm catching in that reminds me of it. So I feel like there could be that type of amber in there. Sometimes I'll smell an amber and it comes off warm. This one comes off a bit cooler, or more so like a room temperature. It doesn't really give me that warm vibe. This fragrance, the way that the juice look, is a little misleading. You would think it would be something really rich and dark, warm, sultry, but this one comes off not cold, not fresh, it's not warm. It just has like this really even sort of presentation, the way that this comes off. Has a little bit of a woodiness to it, a nice amber vibe to it, something that comes off like a clean lavender kind of a vibe. Has a little bit of a fresh component, almost like a bergamot or maybe a lemon sitting up top. There's like a lingering floral. It's not necessarily funky, but it's like a slight tinge or something that's lingering, and it comes off like almost like a dense floral almost. To my nose, that's pretty much all that I can decipher. But as I've said, amber, lavender, bergamot, possibly a sandalwood, and a dense possible white floral. So I'm gonna leave that floral guess out and just stick with the amber, lavender, bergamot, sandalwood. We'll leave it at that. Not sure if I mentioned it, but I believe this is their offering called Get Right Clean Team Black. So let's see what we got going on here with the notes. All right, so we got a decent amount of these. We were in the ballpark in some areas, and there were some things that we were off on. We did guess bergamot, we guessed sandalwood, we mentioned pink pepper, and we mentioned tonka bean. We mentioned orange, but we were stating that we didn't think it was orange because it wasn't necessarily like round or bright or vibrant enough, and it was actually mandarin orange in here as well. So we missed that one. So we mentioned the bergamot, the pink pepper, the tonka bean, and we also mentioned the sandalwood as well. I had brought up lavender and I brought up amber, and amber wasn't in this one at all. But it's so odd. Like I feel like I'm catching some amber. Maybe it's something in this scent that is mixing with the amber that's causing me to just hate that fragrance so much. But I kept feeling like I was catching an amber, and I was not. So the profile that I'm catching, I'm getting something that is slightly dense, like a dense floral, has like a little bit of this funk to it, has like an amber-like presence, but like a cold amber. Has like a clean component that comes off like a lavender almost. Has a woody aspect that comes in, and it's slightly damp, slightly dry. It doesn't come off real deep and oud-like. Comes off a bit more sharp and dry. There's like a peppery floral vibe that's happening here as well. That could be attributed to the orchid. It's not as peppery as I thought it would be. Figuring out that there's tonka bean, pink pepper, and cardamom, I thought for sure that it would have more of a peppery vibe to it. But honestly, this one is a bit balanced. It's an extremely balanced fragrance. First of all, just everything is just evenly done, evenly distributed. Nothing's taken over. Nothing stands out more than the other. Just a really chill fragrance. I'll spend some more time with this one and just see how this one develops on skin, how it may transform as it stays on the skin a little bit longer down in the dry down. Overall with this, I am pretty impressed. Love the presentation. The atomizer is excellent. Love the details on this bottle. Love the composition of this fragrance. How everything is balanced and sort of distributed really nice and evenly, blended well, and how this one is very inoffensive. I could feel like this is something that you could wear to the office very easily, on a date very easily, running errands very easily. So we'll come back to this one. And see how this one develops on skin. I'll wear this one tonight to bed and see how it develops on skin, how it pans out towards the morning when I wake up, and see if anything changes, see if anything develops a little differently. So far, I'm impressed. Fragrances don't have to be super obnoxious and doing something super crazy in order for it to make an effective statement. In the package, it also came with 2 samplers, and these sample sizes look actually pretty hefty. What we'll do is we'll check these out on a later video where we're not rushing through anything. We can take our time and present these and go over these in full. I will drop the link in the description where you guys can check out clean team, get right fragrances, and see what they're about. See if there's anything that catches your attention. See if there's anything that may suit your fancy. And that is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace.